I just hate it getting stuck there. And hopefully I don't have to adjust anything else, because if I have to adjust something else, then I'm going to be really screwed, y'all. And let me see, is this picking up the right direction? Yeah, it's good. So let's see what happens. Again, we're playing Dear Esther tonight. This is supposed to be an hour and a half long. And after some talks with Bados, I might be starting in another week or so. I might be starting some longer games. And I say longer, I mean like 4-hour games. And maybe over 2 days we complete a game. And then if we have more time, I'll throw in another short game. So that might add to my list of longer games. Yeah, let's check out options. You can tell I'm out of it. I sound out of it, y'all. Closed captions, large captions. We're going to turn captions on the game. Video, brightness, field of view. Oof. Oh, can I do windowed? There we go. I got my mouse back. Thank God. And crosshair. That's weird. Why would I want a crosshair? I don't know if that's something I should be concerned about. Okay. I don't think there's anything else. Controller. I don't think I need a controller for this, y'all. I do not think it's that kind of game. Director's commentary. We don't need any of that. Tell me if the audio is wonky, guys.
Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore.
Actually, I do think it's picking up on the mic.
This year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly, and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands.
Oof.
300 years later, even they have departed.
Yeah, I could definitely say I like weird games. I am so sorry. Somebody will find me and this be right up their alley. Oh. Oh. I have no regrets.
Come back.
I got an achievement for drowning. I'm sorry. I am not sorry. Oh, that's a zoom button. Okay. That's gonna get me. Both buttons are zoom buttons. Alright, so if I have to interact with something. Classic Steam achievement. I am the one. I will try to kill myself in a game. Just to make sure I'm not... Check every trash can. Check every trash can. Look for everything. There's no sprint button. Oh, God, there's no sprint button. Oh. This is not a horror game. I do not like getting out the flashlight, though. If a flashlight is required in a game... Food and Goods, 1978? I laugh because I don't even remember what year he gave me. He said a year. Can I squat? No. I cannot squat. I don't remember enough chemistry to tell if that's something or not. What in the world? Well, this looks like it was a waste of time. Is this a round... Okay, it is a round room. Oh. There was stairs. Is this... Am I being dumb? Am I in a lighthouse? I am in a damn lighthouse, aren't I? I'm looking up expecting to find like a monster in the rafters. Fucking seagull. I thought he just said there wasn't any seagulls here. Didn't he? Okay, it was a lighthouse and I'm just being stupid. Huh. Okay. Is there anything interesting on this side? Just more blue paint. Huh, where's the light shining? Like, is it relevant where it's shining? I don't think there's anything I can... Okay, let's double check. Controller, no. Keyboard, mouse. Forward, back, left, right, zoom in. Okay, well, definitely not a visual novel, because we're not making any choices in this game. It's just a visual story, but somebody really likes blue paint. That is what I have gotten out of this story so far. Somebody likes blue paint. And I swear, I thought he said the seagulls were dead. I don't know if I should go up or down yet. We'll start this way, I guess. It's not giving me any direction. But we'll go this way. I'm like half expecting music to play, like I'm playing Death Stranding or something like that. Maybe this is my sign. I just need to like stop and chill a little bit. Maybe I am wound up too tight this week already. I like the wind sounds though. The wind sounds are nice and like realistic-y. I don't think I can climb that. But if I had to walk back down this beach again, this might be too chill for me, y'all. There's some little crab traps. Whatever. Garbage. It's definitely garbage. That looks like that might be a walkway. A path back up. Yeah.
At night, you can see the lights sometimes from a passing tanker or trawler. From up on the cliffs, they are mundane. But down here, they fugue into ambiguity. For instance, I cannot readily tell if they belong above or below the waves. The distinction now seems banal. Why not everything and all at once? There's nothing better to do here than indulge in contradictions whilst waiting for the fabric of life to unravel.
Okay. There is... Oh. I know the shape, but I can't think of it. Or it's related to... What is it? Like the rule of quarters, rule of halves or something? Dang it. That's a Badass question. He knows much better than I do. Okay. Let's proceed. I might have made a mistake going this way still. Can I walk out on the rocks?
I have found the ship's manifest, crumpled and waterlogged under a stash of paint cans. It tells me that along with this present cargo, there was a large quantity of antacid yogurt bound for the European market. It must have washed out to sea. God knows there are no longer gulls or goats here to eat it.
I'm thinking about all that blue paint, and then I'm like, is that yogurt? Snacks, how are you doing tonight? I think it was a waste of time for me to walk into this crevice. I can't jump or anything. Missed with the script. I really want to replay the first Mist. That has been on my list for a very long time. Okay, can I can't jump. I can't climb. I can drown. Okay, we're not going to try to go this way. I'm just wasting my time. Let's be honest. If I can't jump and there doesn't look like there's a clear pathway over there, there's no point. But it really just walked me down here for nothing. But it is pretty. Like, they definitely... This is... I say an older game. I think this is 2019. And this one's been on my wish list for a while. And I've just been needing to play it. So... Apparently, at one point in time, I thought it was very worthy. So I just need to get it off of my backlog and out into the world. But it's peaceful. It's just more walking simulator-y. I said it's just my sign. I need to slow the hell down. How was your Monday? How was your weekend? Snacks. How is your... I think that's supposed to be a tanker out there. I can't tell. Oh. How many hours did y'all put into it? What were we watching? I've seen some of like the comparison clips of the new Resident Evil to the original and stuff. 18 and a half. Jesus Christ. I say I don't have time like that. I know if I wanted to, I could commit time to it. Okay. I think... Oh, that path didn't even hook up with this path, y'all. That was still a different path over there. We're going to keep going up. And see, look, here's... Wait, is it? I don't see it over there, but I see blue... Y'all see those little blue spots? I don't know if those are rocks. It sort of looks like that blue paint again. Way too long, Christy wanted to do... See, and that was a reason I started streaming games in the first place, because I streamed games so I wouldn't get stuck and that I'd have
sight.
Motivation.
The moon cresting the junction
Or
between
help.
the cliff path and the stone circle. It cast a shadow of the ridge across the beach. All the world as if you had signed your name in untidy handwriting.
Untidy. The metaphors he, like, uses. I sort of want to... Oh, I can fall off the cliff. I can fall off the cliff. But yeah, the reason I started streaming games was mostly to, like, get the motivation to finish. Like, I just have to finish something that I started. Which that's definitely changed over time, too. I have a hard time finishing projects, so... I want to play, oh, what's the name of the game? The same people who created It Takes Two, not cross-fiction.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath.
What?
You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat.
Oh!
And know to send aid, or impose a cordon of protection. And wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this. To keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
So... I am choosing... Maybe... So I chose to be alone. Split fiction. Thank you, Melrose. BBG and I really enjoyed It Takes Two. Or at least I did. I think he enjoyed it. Dang it. Down or up? It's such a commitment to go one way that it kills me a little bit.
I quote directly. A motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most godforsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
That goes back to the lighthouse? I know I suck at games, and I know I suck at games. Especially, like, I say skill-based games. Because I always wanted to be good at, like, I was trying so hard to avoid saying, like...
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
At first, I'm wondering if I'm stranded here. Like, I just have quote-unquote mental illness? Two bots arguing with each other.
This hermit, this seer, this distant historian of bones and old bread, where did he vanish to? Why? Asked the farmers. Why? Asked Jakobsen. Why bother with your visions at all, if you're just to throw your arms up at the cliff and let it close in behind you and seal you into the belly of the island, a museum shut to all but the most devoted?
Well, I found the blue paint. I hate when the flashlight turns on. I was saying, though, like Street Fighter, I would love to be good at Street Fighter or something like that. And I feel like I could pick something up like that easier. I just feel like whenever I play something like Overwatch or Fortnite or Apex, I always feel like I'm letting people down, and then that turns into such a ball of anxiety for me. I mean, I get anxiety playing Stardew. Like, I got issues. I am definitely more specific about my games. And it's not that I don't enjoy them. Just, I prefer to keep my anxiety low. But then on the opposite front, I like the social aspect. But I don't want to be social with strangers. I want to be social with people I know again. I've known that for a while. I am aware it would be good for me. Meds also would probably be good for me. Okay, so I just walked around in a circle. That was cool. And I'm really still not sure what the hell's going on. I don't like how it shook me. Low cortisol song. I am self-diagnosed. ADD. No. I am a high-functioning anxiety something. It's easier when you can identify it in your relatives too. So then you're like, yep, that's the brand I got. That's the variety. That's the flavor. That's the flavor I got too. But the OCD, I get better about controlling it. It just depends on the timing and the scenario. Let's see. I've been looking at this river. Like, this water looks like fair. Water is hard to animate. And it just looks peaceful. And hearing, like, just a little bit of water in the background. I'm wondering if I'm going towards that tower over there. But I also know this game...
The vegetation here has fossilized from the roots up. To think they once grazed animals here, the remnants of occupation being evidence to that. It is all sick to death. The water is too polluted for the fish.
Polluted water.
The sky is too thin for the birds, and the soil is cut with the bones of hermits and shepherds. I've heard it said that human ashes make great fertilizer, that we could sow a forest from all that is left of your hips and ribcage, with enough left over to thicken the air and repopulate the bay.
Thanks. That's promising. Should have put a depression warning on this game, y'all. You need to control your Amazon and eBay impulse buying. So, what I have done in the past, I've done Amazon gift cards. Like, I only would buy Amazon gift cards when I'd go grocery shopping. So that was at the time it was my reward for going grocery shopping. But if my Amazon account didn't have a balance in it, I could not buy anything. So that way it also forced me to plan my purchases and think ahead of things. But then, of course, you get desperate enough and crazy enough, you're still going to put your card back in the system, you know? But it helped keep me in check a little bit for a while. And you could do that with, like, I say PayPal too a little bit. It's like if you don't have a balance in your PayPal, you can't get anything. I'm looking at our little Stonehenge here. Is that the butthole I was in earlier? Sorry. But anyways, like Badass's brand of ADHD. I have a hair more focus. He was definitely more OCD too, though. He had a couple things. Yep, that was the butthole I was in. Okay. So, moving on. Don't say sorry. That is one of my bad habits too. I'm a very sorry person. I will over apologize for things that I don't need to apologize for. How many times am I sincerely apologizing for things? I will say too, I am very much a person that it gave me, I don't know if it gave me an achievement for something or what. Over apologize. I will also be the one that I will totally say, like, I am sorry that you were offended. I'm not sorry I offended you. I'm just sorry you're offended. Oh, he hasn't talked in a while, and I don't know if that's... We're getting more flowers over here. I just don't want to walk into a dang dead end. She's dangerously close to autistic as well. That was something they never diagnosed him with, actually, so... Yeah. I don't... Dang it. Okay, see? The game is gonna get me stuck. I can't walk back, but that means there has to be a way out. If I'm gonna fall into this hole... Oh! Oh!
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome break services, but although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
So, are we in England? Or are we stranded on our island and we're going crazy? This also explains why I couldn't turn around. I got diagnosed with autism level 1. I can say 100% that everybody is autistic to some degree. Everybody's autistic to some degree. I missed something, y'all. Y'all were boop, 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 boop. I don't feel like we grew up in a strict family. Like, I did not have... We had high standards, but definitely, no, we were not strict. No, we were not a strict family. But we were good kids. We definitely did not get into a lot of trouble. So we also got away with a lot more things, too. See the walkway up there. But I far from consider my parents strict. I know much worse situations, and I definitely was not in one of those situations. Okay, okay, there is a yellow light down there. The red light's still over here. The amount of times I walked in their house at like 2 a.m. My mother is definitely not somebody to like turn away somebody that needs help. Needs it, like, hey, have you eaten? Hey, you need to eat. Like, as soon as you walk in the door, she will offer you a meal. She will offer you food. Make sure you have a drink in your hand. Not an alcoholic drink, mind you, but she'll make sure you're taken care of.
Has kept me lucid. I sat when I was at the very edge of despair, when I thought I would never unlock the secret of the island. I sat at the edge and I watched the idiot boy blink.
He did say island, FYI, though.
He's mute and he is retarded, and he has no thought in his metal head but to blink each wave and each minute aside until the morning comes and renders him blind as well as deaf mute. In many ways, we have much in common.
Okay, I see. They look like islands more than tankers out there. There's little dark shapes in the I say in the water. They don't look like they're in the water. They almost look like they're just drawn on top of everything. You know, another child. When can I meet them? I love my mom. I love my dad in his own way, too. But he's just an instigator. I get that, too, though. I love picking a fight. I love playing devil's advocate. Okay, but he did say we are on an island. He did confirm we are on an island. But I swear I saw something red in my path. We're gonna see if we can get on that boat. Because I'm sick of just walking around and looking at it. Like, I want to explore something a little bit. But this path is definitely walking us down here, but it doesn't look like we can necessarily get on the boat. You gotta have the right sense of humor to appreciate my dad. I definitely had quite a few friends growing up that did not like coming over because he pissed them off. And it was just him being him. You just have to understand. Where do... I guess I can't get up here. Disappointment is real. There's another path up. Is that a box? I have to see what that was. That looked real funky. Just looks like a piece of wood. The stepdad was tough on me when I was in high school. A kid, he was chill. Sometimes... I have definitely heard plenty of stories when it comes to like step parents and stuff. It changes over time. Like sometimes when you're younger, like it's not necessarily that you thought they were being mean and rude. There's a lot of situations where it was, I don't want to say it was just straight up a misunderstanding. It was just you being a kid too. And as an adult, you see it from a different point of view. We're gonna walk further this way. Send your brother out to take care of a task because he didn't want to do it knowing full who he's gonna. Oh, it builds character. Snacks. It builds character. I hope I'm gonna be a cool mom.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
What the hell does this mean? What do you mean? A hole? What? A hole in the boat? New hermits eat nor drink? Neither did he eat nor drink. I don't know how far out on the rocks it's gonna let me walk without freaking jumping. Minus full-blown gaslighter. Like I said, in some cases. It definitely depends on the kid too, though. 007. Neither did he eat nor drink. Now I wish I paid more attention to this boat over here and if it said something or not. Okay, we're gonna have to just take the path back up anyways, so. Because again, like as a kid, like I know that I was a good kid, so I got away with a lot more. Like especially in school too, like 100,000%. I skipped so much class my junior and senior year, it's not even funny. But I was a good kid and I had good grades, so it just gave them more time to focus on the kids that really needed help. That's what I keep telling myself. Because I substituted for like a year and I was the one that took care of those kids that did not need the help for a while. That also taught me real quick that I do not want to be a teacher. So thank you for all the teachers out there, guys. They're walking around with custom speakers in his backpack. He blows my mind away. He's so smart. And my coworkers talk about it too. Like, we all know he's a brilliant dude. He's a smart guy. Okay, we're going this way because I don't think there's anything left for us back in that crack over there.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
My stones have grown into islands. What a metaphor, y'all. What a metaphor. And you have been rendered opaque by a drunk. So I guess his dear Esther passed away in a car accident. It didn't say car accident. Or did it say car accident? I don't remember. Okay, I want to go up because I can always... They say jump back down. We're going down first. This is a lot more outdoorsy time than I thought. I thought I'd be inside more. But it's okay. Apparently I need more... Whoa. I need more outdoors time.
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
I want to jump in the hole.
Come back.
Okay, so it's not the same scene. Oh. Oh. Died from falling off a cliff once. Achievement. No shame, guys. No shame. As long as I know what... It stuck me in a spot where I can't fall in again. It put me against a rail. Whenever I see a quarry, I think about the Power Rangers. So... I think it was Stranger Things. I think that's what we were watching. Because part of that show, you're in a quarry. But the amount of shows that have, like, a bit of quarry in them are wild. And I get them all mixed up at some point. Like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Alright. What in the world? Are they fences? Are they roads? But there's a house up there? All paths led the same way. I wonder if there's, like... Is it the same speech or is it different speeches? I think I had to go this way. Stranger Things good. It's not scary. It's more I say psychological. It's not jump scary. Because I don't like scary stuff.
Towards the center. It is a straight line to the summit, where the evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence. The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore.
So this is north, and we're going south, I guess. Which does not make sense with the sun? I don't know. Carl, all I could think of was like Sisyphus, I too am. But anyways, Stranger Things is really good. It's not, like I said, it's not a jump scare type show. It's more, I don't want to call it like a psychological show either. I'm trying to think of the right words. But it's pretty good. And now that it's all out, you could just binge watch it too. This could be an unreliable narrator. So, when he was talking about illness and the lines in the side of the mountain, and he mentioned something about illness too. Like he wasn't sick. It insinuated that he was like mentally ill. So I would go with he's probably unreliable because of his mental health. Because also, who the hell would use in the sentence that their kidney stones became islands? Like, what the hell? also, is this making, is this making like a figure 8 almost? Or maybe it's one of those crazy S's from middle school. The little... Y'all know which S I'm talking about. Maybe I just walk up this side. I did want to look in. It looks like there might have been another boat. Unfortunately, I do. I know we're getting old, dude. We're getting old. Isn't it great?
The Buoy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career.
Bothy?
The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jacobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Oh my god. I didn't expect this to be like a story about like death and mental health and whatever a bothy is. Lots of new vocabulary words. Thought that looked like somebody down there at first. I'm not gonna go back down. I am going to the house. I keep wondering if there's more for me to explore. Like, I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss anything. And we'll do this, the big house first, I guess. Whatever. Time to boot up Steam.
3
More
cormorants
paint!
at dusk. They did not land. This house built of stone,
Cormorants?
built by a long-dead shepherd. Contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
So, this dude's been drinking too much paint or something. Luminous paint. So many cans of luminous paint. Is he wanting to be found though? Like, he's talking about those lines. Maybe he doesn't want to be found? Guys, if I had to live like this though, like, I wouldn't be living like this. Fuck you. Gosh dang it. If you were to create a fictional superhero, 100% your own, what would the concept story be about? Oh, good lord. That's... Dude, even if you just asked me what superpower I'd have, that's a freaking thought there. But a story? I have no clue. It would not be very interesting. I can tell you that. I like sort of being quiet into myself a little bit here. There's that freaking... Oh, this one's different. This is arrows. And if I was playing any other game, I'd be writing all this down. But I don't think I need to write these down. That's something different here, too. What superpower, though? The one I usually go with is, like, teleportation. But only if I can teleport, like, other items or people with me. Is that a Karn? Like, even if it's, like, jumper, like, I have to, like, visit, like, physically go one time before I can go back. Like, that's perfectly fine, too. I'm cool with that. Because I would love to travel more. That would be cool. But, of course, I don't want to go by myself. That's the superpower I really need. Just being okay doing things on my own and not needing emotional support people to help me. Stealing my ideas for a book. See, I covered myself. I already referenced another book, so now he's not copying me, he's copying another book. You can teleport, but you can only go one place, but you can't jump back. Okay, well then I jump 5 feet to the left of me, the right of me, you know, like... There's ways around things. The world's pretty big. Okay, we're going down. Yeah, we're going down. We went in the house. We looked in the house. So we're going down. I'm a creative person, so I don't need to steal any ideas. So... No, I don't want, like, a physical item, though. Like, I want it, like, built in. Like, nobody can steal it from me. Like, it's just... But I don't want the FBI chasing me or any groups like that either, so. I could jump to Walmart, but I'd Uber home. Okay, so like Jumper, you have to visit the place once. Like, you have to be able to visualize it. So like a drawing doesn't count like if somebody gives you a drawing, that doesn't count, or if somebody gives you a photo, that doesn't count. Like, you have to like physically know and remember the space to be able to travel there. But I mean, that's just the book. That's how the author made up that one. I can make it up however I want, but that's fair. The movie was all right. I read the book, and then I read another book about another character in the movie. And I'm trying to remember what that kid's name was, and I don't remember. But the book was good. The book and the... I don't even remember who it was about. But anyways, another character in the movie. Both those books were really good.
He left his body to the medical school and was duly opened out for a crowd of students 21 days after his passing.
3 weeks? Ew.
The report is included in my edition of his book. The syphilis had torn through his guts like a drunk driver.
Another reference
scrambling
to
his
drunk
organs
drivers.
like eggs on a plate. But enough definition remained for a cursory examination, and, as I suspected, they found clear evidence of kidney stones.
You also had kidney stones,
He's likely
though?
to have spent the last years of his life in considerable pain. Perhaps this is the root of his laudanum habit. Although its use makes him an unreliable witness, I find myself increasingly drawn into his orbit.
And to his, like, beforehand or afterhand? That's, But, I'm trying to think what else it was. Jumper was one of the movies. Because I do like reading books before I watch a movie. Or I'll read a book knowing there's a movie. And if I enjoy the book, I will watch the movie later. Jumper and one of the Hunger Games. It was
they found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. All around him, small flowers were reaching for the weak sun. The goats had adjusted happily to life without a shepherd and were grazing freely about the valley. Donnelly reports they hurled the body in fear and disgust down the shaft. But I cannot corroborate this story.
Why am I so often able to walk into the water? It's given me so many opportunities to walk into the water. Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, which that was okay. I was originally a big fan of the Hunger Games books. The movies were alright. I don't know. It got overhyped. And I don't know. I don't want to gatekeep a good book, but sometimes I feel like when things get overly popular, I don't know, it seems to lose the appeal. Is that weird? I don't know how to get that. I don't know how not to look at it that way. Like, I know that's stupid, and just because other people enjoy something and something becomes popular doesn't mean that I can't enjoy it anymore, but that's how my mind always sees it, and I don't understand that. You need to read the original Hunger Games. Battle Royale. I have not read Battle Royale. That one's been on my list for a while, too. Isn't that a whole Netflix series, too? Right now, I'm stuck on... I say 2 series. That's all I've read this year is, like, 2 series. I'm listening to some smut, and then I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl. And if you have not heard me preach about Dungeon Crawler Carl, it's so good, y'all. It's gonna make a fantastic show, too. Like, they already have, after the book, they have a webtoon. They have a manga, which might still also be related to the webtoon. And then they're working on the show. And I'm excited about it. I also...
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly
Is that when I
infected.
jumped?
The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones.
This is creepy
I
sounding.
struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Oh my god, I am walking this dude to his death. This also explains why he's so dang slow and can't jump for the life of him. So, Dungeon Crawler Carl, an Asian drama movie. I know I've seen, like I said, I've seen something advertised on Netflix. I know it was foreign. But I really want to read the book, though. Yeah, I got to read the book before I do anything with that. Filipino version of Power Rangers Masked Rider with a twist. Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's fantastic. I think it's 8 books. I think it's 8 books. And I'm on the 3rd book of that. I'm trying to collect the hardbacks, too. But it's so good. Like, sci-fi, like, it's funny as hell. Even if you're not a sci-fi person, the amount of pop culture references and stuff in it, it's so good, y'all. It's so freaking funny. I know I needed to walk in the cave, but I wasn't ready to walk in the cave yet, y'all. I'm not as familiar with Kamen Rider. I ought to be more familiar with it, but I'm not. Surprisingly. The little bit I know is from legit John Steven. But I'm not even as familiar with, like, Super Sentai as I should be, either. I still need to finish watching, Zoo Ranger. And now I'm gonna have the dang theme song stuck in my head, though. And YouTube in his English subs. We started watching, like, Zoo Ranger was on Tubi, I think it was. And we started watching when Little Bun was only a couple months old. And I mean, we got past the part where Jirai came in and became a good guy and joined the team and stuff like that. Just we're bad about finishing series, just like I'm bad about finishing games. Like, yeah, that's definitely us. That's definitely us. BPG, I hope you're awake, because otherwise your schedule is going to be thrown even more off, hun. I'm yelling at him across the house. I swear I slowed down. I saw that. I was trying to figure out if I'm walking in water. Yeah, I'm walking through water. So, like, water's drifting down this way. Why is there candles lit? Did I light candles? Maybe I'm not walking to the light, or maybe there's different endings. But yeah, this is not looking promising, y'all. Oh, hi. It took me. It definitely took me there.
Did Jakobsen crawl this far? Can I identify the scratches his nails ruined into the rocks? Am I following him cell for cell, inch for inch? Why did he turn back on himself and not carry through to the ascent?
They're not scratches. Wow. Somebody's gonna have to tell me which ones are stalagmites and stalactites. As many caves as I've been in, I still can't tell you the damn difference, y'all. Which one's floor and which one's ceiling. Alright. It's not deep enough for me to drown myself. And then again, more candles. I didn't plan on falling down here, so who lit the candles? But again, more freaking paint. I say paint. It's like they were making paint on this damn island. Maybe it's the guano. It's bat guano. Why is it red? Tights coming from the ceiling. Thank you, Snacks. I was trying to remember tights and mites, and I was like, there was some kind of rhyme or something went on with them, but... Did I squat? Oh, I did squat. Look at me. Do some little deer prints. See deer prints. It looks like animal prints. Okay, now we're getting to Far Cry. We got our little shrooms everywhere. Not really shrooms, but they look like shrooms. I love graphics, y'all. I love little details. Tight, you hold tight. Thank you, Melrose. That's what I needed. I like going in caves, but I would never go spelunking. At one point in time, like, it sounded interesting, but the internet has forever ruined me on that. Dang it, do I go that way yet or not? Oh, this looks like it's gonna go in a circle anyways.
There is no other direction. No other exit from this motorway. Speeding past this junction, I saw you waiting at the roadside for one last drink in your trembled hands.
Okay, that is chemistry. So I'm back to paint again. Huffing paint and shrooms right here. Drinking. Oh my gosh. But like, some of this looks so much more organic than structured. That looks like an electrical diagram, actually. What in the world? What was this guy's problem? Please tell me how he got in here without, like, breaking any of these. This is... If I'm supposed to make any sense of this, I am not. I mean, a lot of these, like, I keep seeing these, like, that little M, the angel wings, or it looks like two hands grabbing something, or, like, reaching for something. Like, there it is again. Keep seeing those little dots, the little circles with the arrows, like the little upside down little gender signs and stuff. You must now calculate how many ohms are in the diagram. Oh my god. I know I need to know a little bit more electrical stuff, but I was gonna say I'm not gonna have a game teach me, but Mechanic Simulator, guys, 10 out of 10. If you can get it for free especially, it's worth playing. This is really pretty. Goonie vibes. Is it gonna start me on the next chapter after I jump in? Whee! Oh no, it's gonna let me swim. I say swim. That was sort of surprising. How badass, he knows that shit. I was trying to see if there was anything else around here. But then I'm scared. Okay, look, I'm not gonna drown. It would give me some kind of like breathometer or something. But I don't see anything, so we'll just walk out of this one. Are you asking for the extended cut, Melrose? Also, you have your work cut out for you. Good luck on that one day. We know Strife will enjoy it. It's just, it's a little commitment. I can't give him a hard time, though, because I didn't watch it until 2017, 2018? So I guess I'm relatively new to the fandom, too. I'm trippy because I thought that was a path. I mean, I haven't drowned yet, so the water's going somewhere. It's not gathering somewhere. I mean, yeah, it's called groundwater, though. Or I already shook the Blu-ray box in front of his face. I'll be honest, I completely forgot about the Netflix adaptation, and I liked it. You just have to separate yourself a little bit. There's plenty of shows and movies where it's not going to completely live up to your expectations, but I liked it in its own way. Like, if I'm ever, like, somebody asks for any kind of comic recommendation or something, I'm like, you have to read Watchmen. You have to read Watchmen. There's a reason why it's on, like, Time's top 100 novels. Not graphic novels, top novels. But the movie sucks. And that's really disappointing. Oh, I jumped from over there or something. I'm not going to fall back down and start over. But yeah, the movie sucked. And for some reason, like, BPG still loves to give me a hard time about the book. And I'm just like, no, read the damn book. Just read the book. I've said his name enough times. If he was awoke, he'd be in here like Beetlejuice. Oh, squat. Involuntarily squat. It's like, is that like handprints or something? Again, he hasn't said anything in a while, so. Lots of tunnels, though. Oh.
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels.
Oh my gosh.
Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
He's referenced kidney stones like 3 times at this point, y'all. Oh my goodness. I don't know which way to go. That goes, oh, that goes up. Son of a gun. Like I said, is this like a choose your own adventure thing? Like you can walk down into the depths and like drown, or you can save yourself and go up, or is it Easter Isle underground? You know, we did see some funny looking stones earlier. And again, I have the chance to walk into the water. Is this shallow water? Is this deep water? I mean, this looks like... Oh, this looks like I could drown in it water. I mean, all this light's coming from somewhere. It's not all bioluminescence and stuff. But yeah, I just need like a couple more stone carvings and stuff. But no, I mean, I'm apparently just stuck with... Oh. Well, I say that. You know what? Screw it. Hi. This actually is moving fairly quick right here. We'll go a little. I'm hoping this will take me where I want to go. But like I said, I want to walk up. I think that's probably going to be the goal. Okay, yeah. The water's definitely helping push me along. Because it's shiny. I like the colors. The colors are pretty. Okay, yeah. I think there's somewhere I can get out down there. Like, this would be a cool place to visit and escape from. Oh, hold up. I don't know if I want to go there much further down this way. Actually, it doesn't look like I can go down here. So, yeah. They're paper boats. That's weird. It's gonna take me a second to crawl out of here, but the paper boats are odd. I want to get out this way, I guess. I thought this was a way I could get out right here. Son of a gun. All that time I enjoyed letting the water carry me, and now I'm fighting against it. He didn't talk anymore, though. Alright, can I get out right here? Pretty freaking please. No, I cannot. I'm just gonna keep riding the edge here, though. Nope. Alright, back to the beach a little further up. There we go. Okay. Let's cross the bridge and go up. I just don't know how much the game actually guides the direction I'm going in, if that makes sense. Because it feels fairly, I say fairly open world. Like, there's plenty of different path choices and stuff. Like, you know you're missing some, I say content, but you're missing some walking, some grade A walking paths. It's just, it's a little slow paced, but at the same time, like, it's a pretty game. Just walking simulators aren't for everybody, but I'm feeling that it's telling me to be patient. Just, I need to work on my patience. I think that's fair, right? But I wish, whenever he's narrating, I wish it would give me some more, I say feedback. Too much Mona. When you said Mona, I was thinking, oh, that looks like tree roots on that one, actually. You said Mona. We watched the show Trash Truck for a while. And Miss Mona in the show is a little mouse. Rat. Let's be honest, she's a rat. But LB would wander around the house and she'd be like, I'm Miss Mona. And she'd just crawl around on all fours real slow. And it would just drive me up the tank wall. Like, come on, kid, we gotta go. No, I'm Miss Mona.
It cannot be the landfill where the parts of your life that would not burn ended up. It cannot be the chimney that delivered you to the skies. It cannot be the place where you rained back down again to fertilize the soil and make small flowers in the rocks.
Maybe that's just paw prints of all the animals that were trying to escape again. There's that. Like I said, it looks like hands to me. Moana. Oh. I wasn't expecting to be able to go down into this hole. Shoot. Also, though, how do I get out? I was like, was the game not expecting me to climb in either? Must be salt water, because it sure helped me climb out of there. But now your shiny comment makes sense, Snacks. Behold, Damascus is taken. You're welcome. Whoa. So wait, are we in like the 17 or 1800s? This gets into alien stuff, y'all. Like, and like this is, he's been drawing aliens. Damascus is taken. Crabs. Damascus. All these little arrows and... Ooh. What is that? It won't let me zoom in on it from that angle. Flags? Or is that just more terribly animated stalactites? Away from being a city. Away from being a city. And it shall be a ruinous heap. Well, these are like roots. Like these are plants. Those aren't stalagmites anymore. Those are like plants. I feel like I'm crawling out of the cave. I mean, there's no guarantee that there's an out, but... Oh, more water up here. Swear I heard a chicken cluck. I was squatting for all of that? Jesus Christ. I could see stomach. I could totally see stomach. And now I'm also sort of grossed out of hair. We're gonna be okay. The game's letting me walk into the water without drowning. We're gonna be fine. Wait, am I? I didn't realize it actually lets me steer. I say steer. I didn't realize it lets me drive my swimming. Which that would have been a little bit more helpful earlier on. I mean, maybe not keeping me from drowning on the beach, but... Oh. Well, I'd like to go around. I see the path over there. Nope. Ah, Sisyphus. Whoa. Am I swimming? Oh, I'm actually swimming. Okay. I don't... Wait. I guess I ruined that entire scene being in the city. I guess I probably could have walked around a little bit more and looked around, but I chose to swim to the surface. I don't think I have the option to return to that city. Dang it. Interesting. This is pretty. It looks like an eye. Like, that's a freaking eye. Back to Moana references here. But who knows how far I have fallen again. Ooh, side note, new One Piece comes out tomorrow too, guys. New season. We'll Well, this guy's definitely on his path to potentially being a demigod here, because he's got a bad leg and kidney stones and whatever else he's talked about at this point. Good gravy. So I guess I walked here from somewhere that I can't see. Oh, that path. That's a path. That's definitely a path. How many more Moana references can we make? Hey, look! Somehow we got out? Oh. There's a tent here. Is somebody here? Another eye, too. We've seen... I'm wondering if I've missed a couple of eyes now, because that's really odd that we've had 2 eyes. 2 eyes. 1, 2. Not turning around on purpose. Oh, that was another path over there, dang it. Maybe I went the candlelit path.
I sat here and watched 2 jets carve parallel white lines into the sky. They charted their course, and I followed them for 21 minutes until they turned off near Sanford and were lost. If I were a gull, I would abandon my nest and join them. I would starve my brain of oxygen and suffer delusions of transcendence. I would tear the bottom from my boat and sail across the motorways until I reached this island once again.
This guy is a really odd duck. And how do we get to the ocean to just bring you stuff instead of walking anywhere? Oh. No, dang it. Dang it. Okay, I'm walking down. I don't need to trek every trash can. This is not one of those games. I can just walk one direction briefly and not have to immediately turn back. For Swedes to walk a new direction. Can I get up here? Oh, I'm almost there. Look at our dude with his bad leg climbing. Yeah. The moon's pretty, guys. This guy said he had a bad leg. Now I'm also wondering if I could have walked out on that, which no, let's be honest. The game would not have let me walk out on that. What is this? Who's lighting all these romantic candles? More paint? Me, or is that a giant freaking paintbrush? Also, I feel like that's the first time we've seen the house. Also, there's candle over there. I think I'm gonna have to fall down again, y'all. The music in this game is pretty, though. Maybe if I walk over here, I get a bonus story. I'm impressed that it let me walk all the way over here. It's gonna let me fall into. Oh, shit. Okay, so I can swim, though. So I definitely let myself drown the first... Ah, crud. I definitely let myself drown the first time. My bad. There's the red light. Is the music going to end, or is it going to start over? I'm walking too slow for the music. I still need to play the second Death Stranding game, but I wanted to replay the first one again before I started on that. See, what is all this? I guess I missed that path too.
We shall begin to assemble our own version of the North Shore. We will scrawl in dead languages and electrical diagrams and hide them away for future theologians to muse and mumble over. We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections. We will paint a moon over the Sanford Junction and blue lights falling like stars along the hard shoulder.
This guy's crazy. What is this? Is this a computer? So there's some surgical instruments. Oh no, it's a freaking what's it called? The little shock machine. What the hell? There has to be somebody else here then. Like, this guy didn't, I mean, obviously. I say obviously. There's Polaroids of a car accident. A car accident? Hold on. I don't think any of the... I wish I could run. Oh my goodness. I didn't see other stuff with any of the other candles? Or was I just not paying attention? And this is going to eat at me if I don't walk back and look real quick, y'all. Because that's just odd. So it was the paint and the paintbrush over here. That's right. That's very odd. So the Polaroids of the car accident. Of a car accident. Clarifying. The name of it is Dear Esther. Somebody died in a car accident, but I do not know if it was Esther. But again, I mean, yes, it's a video game, but who else would have lit all these candles? Like, there's candles. Is that a person standing up there? That looks like a person up there, y'all. I mean, I don't think there was a path for me to walk up there yet, but... Or maybe there's not, but there's definitely a person up there. Alright. Well, let's keep walking, and maybe we'll get up there at some point. There was some kind of... It looked like some kind of building, but maybe I'm wrong. We will find out in a moment. Because it could have just been more rocks. There's our little... thing again. Looks like it's a woman. Wait. Did it just make that sound when I looked at the candle? That's weird. That was just conveniently creepy noises when I looked at the picture. Like, this is weird. Two tires and a car door. And a caution sign. See, because, okay, so it did make the creepy noise when we're looking at this stuff the first time. But again, why? Oh, and a muffler. My bad, and a muffler. But why? How is that on the island? Where the hell am I at? The idea I came up with a Filipino version of Kamen Rider, but the theme would be the 18 vegetables from a famous Filipino nursery rhyme, since Kamen Rider did fruits already. Is that an 18 good age to be in? An 18?
There were chemical diagrams on the posters on the walls on the waiting room. It seemed appropriate at the time. still life abstractions of the processes which had already begun to break down your nerves and your muscles in the next room. I crammed diazepam as I once crammed for chemistry examinations. I am revising my options for a long and happy life.
Weird. Alright, that dude's still over there. The lines in the side of the mountain are odd. Who is he talking about still, though? Did he lose somebody? Around, dang it. Around him. I can't say heaven shone around him. A light from heaven shone around him. There's another path. Is that a path? Dang it. That looks like another path. This is such an odd game. I feel like I am scrunching off my forehead way too much as well. This also turns into one of those things. I feel like if I'm not walking through the water. Is 18 a good age to be in?
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
I sat here until I watched all of you sink. How the hell am I out on this island? Like, I'm still not getting a good answer on that. I feel like 18's so young. But you get into... Like, anybody in books is between, like, 15 and like 25. Like, you don't get a lot of books where somebody's older than that, and like, so these are all the little letters he wrote. Oh my gosh. Well, that explains why some of them were in the cave, and that doesn't necessarily mean that he would know that they ended up in the cave, if that makes sense as well. Because at first I'm like, oh, he put them in the cave. He's been to the cave before. But no, not necessarily. Not necessarily. On a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. Look, there's some eggs. This is sounding aliens again. That's very, like, alien. Alien sounding to me. Isn't this very similar to where we started again? Except if I face up, I can walk on water, right? See, I could walk around and explore forever, and I don't think there's anything out on the water. Except another achievement for swimming X amount of steps or something like that. Alright. That's so weird. Alright, let's go see if we can find this person, or if we're gonna walk towards that beacon over there. I just feel like I'm not getting any answers to my questions. I feel like I'm just getting more questions to my questions. You're going to the Philippines on Friday? Ooh. How long are you going for, 007? Where trying to think where... I'm sure that person is gone. We're not going to meet anybody in this game. But I can't see any of this.
The sound of torn metal, teeth running over the edge of the rocks, a moon that casts a signal as I lay pinned beside you, the ticking of the cooling engine, and the calling from a great height, all my mind as a bypass.
So wait, was he in this accident? I guess nobody said that he couldn't have been in the accident. 2 weeks, it says what my company allowed for what they had to be at the company I worked with for 30 years. That's normal, unfortunately. My company, yeah, after like 25 years, you get about a month off. But fortunately, I say that. I get like 5 weeks right now. 5 weeks, 25 days. I'd say same difference, but it's not. I really just want to walk at this edge here. But you don't like me. That person's still over there. It's gonna be a rock or something. Dang it. Dang it. It's not gonna let me. It's not gonna let me go that way. Son of a beast. This guy looks crazy. The voices are not scary though. And unlimited PTO before I got laid off. I have heard negative things about having unlimited PTO.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
I don't know if that was romantic or not. I knew the person wouldn't be up here by the time I got up here. I knew they were going to make a move. This looks like ash floating away. I don't know if it's supposed to be leaves or not, but... it looks like ribs to me a little bit, so... it's BS. If you use it, they complain. You don't use it, they complain. Yeah, I've heard people use less time, but then they can also restrict you more because they don't... they're not really promising you any time off. I am just happy. Oh. And as he was proceeding on his journey... oh. That's a long sentence over there. I say for the first time. For the first time since I've been in my new position. I am very, very fortunate that I have a very high functioning person now that knows how to complete my job. So I can actually take work off in peace for once. And no, I don't have a backlog waiting for me when I return to work. And oh my gosh, that is the best feeling in the world. Because even in my old position, I still like would come back to work and I would always have a backlog of things to work on. And like, after working for how long, like I can't believe that it's taken this long. Near to Damascus, come near to Damascus, and was come near to Damascus. This is so hard to read. And he was
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
There was 3 days without sight. And neither did he eat nor drink. I need more work on my Excel. I thought I was good and proficient in Excel until within the past, 3 or 4 years, I know nothing about Excel. I need to learn some, pivot tables and stuff like that. So, you can use it as long as you're a high performer, but if you used it, you're automatically a low performer. Yeah, no. Some structure is not a bad thing. To protect your own mental health, too. 100%. But yeah, I figured they just use that. They hold that over your head a little bit more to use that as an excuse to let you go. Oh yeah, you
Returning to my car afterwards, hands still shaking, and a head split open by the impact. Goodbye to tearful aunts and traumatized uncles. Goodbye to the phenomenal. Goodbye to the tangible. Goodbye Wolverhampton. Goodbye Sanford. Goodbye Cromer. Goodbye Damascus. This cliff path is slippery in the dew. It is hard to climb with such an infection. I must carve out the bad flesh and sling it from the aerial. I must become infused with the very air.
Is that a bunker? It's just a very odd looking piece here. Because at first I thought it was just a shepherd that built a shack and stuff, but obviously there was much more going on here. I took a certificate course in Udemy about Excel. I know to YouTube. There's plenty of programs online. There's a lot of free programs. I'm trying to remember. 10 years ago or something, Coursera was really popular. I don't know if that exists or if it's still a free structure or anything like that. What the hell is this? What is this, some kind of bunker or what is this? Cool view though, bruh. But now you gotta pay for it? Boo. At that point, I'd look into how much it costs to do a Microsoft certified program. I feel like Snacks would be the one to be able to answer that too. And it came to pass that as I made my journey, okay, I can't read it from here. That one's a long one too, I know. I'm still just trying to identify what freaking time period I'm in too. Because I saw the defibrillator. That looks very modern to me. Maybe it's trying to push me. $300? Jesus. Yeah, no. I don't know how many... I would not have experience knowing, how companies look at an actual formal certification versus just knowledge. Unto Damascus. At noon? Okay, yeah, that's... Why would they... I couldn't read it from a distance. How suddenly... Maybe the goal is that I fall off trying to read it. As shown from the heavens. Is that the same one again? A light round about me. Do I need to be looking a little bit? And could not see for the glory.
He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not star-studded all over like a map of the heavens. His paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus.
Being led by the hand of men. Huh. Companies you've worked with did care, only denied once for not having a degree, which is... I'm curious to see how that works out over time. Like, the value of having a degree seems less and less over other certifications. That were with men? Oh my goodness. I don't think it's ash anymore. I think it's just leaves and debris. Debris. Came into... that were... what did it say? With men? That were with men? That were with men. Came into that were with men. Came into... I came into that were with men. Damascus. So odd. I get into a game. Like I said, I know I need to add back the other sound effects. Because unfortunately, playing short games, horror games also come with the territory.
I have run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air.
So I've just been walking this dude to his death? Oh.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him?
Oh my God.
I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
I was not actually expecting something to happen. I'm assuming he's gonna start flying though. Like a goal, right? Thank God. I'm assuming... I mean, I'm not going to say Esther was his wife, but Esther was obviously somebody very significant to him. And I guess that he just went crazy after her death in the accident. Maybe the kidney stones drove him crazy. Such an odd game. Was still half expecting aliens though, y'all. Cheers, Q. That was so kind of you to wait for whatever ending just happened. This is not... I'm apparently not deep enough for this. That's what this means. So, cheers. For the Chinese room. I should have looked. Is that one of the developers or something like that? Little Lost Polly. The music was pretty. The graphics were pretty. The writing, I am very much confused. Nigel Carrington. He sounded like a Nigel, let's be honest. The Chinese room R. Special things too. Like, if I was British, would some of this have made more sense? But I don't think it would have made that big a difference. I don't think it would have made that big a difference. I'm glad that I knocked this off my list, but... yeah, it's hard being at a point where I'm pretty tired. I'll be, like, today I have not been in, like, the top-notch greatest headspace. Just because I've been so tired. I've had a tough time waking up. I've fallen asleep earlier. I am dead to the world. Like, I am impressed that I am, like, still awake, still running. I am okay right now. Functioning on just water. I stayed awake for this game. And I don't know how. I don't know if that qualifies as a more chill game. But I don't know. I don't know what audience this is supposed to appeal to. If that makes sense. I don't know what audience this is supposed to appeal to. So I clicked on director's commentary to see if it gives us a little bit more feedback, like at least here at the beginning. That scared me.
Hello everyone, I'm Dan Pinchbeck, I'm the creative director of The Chinese Room, and this is the Dear Esther developers commentary.
Hi, I'm Robert Briscoe, I'm the artist on Dear Esther.
And I'm Jessica Curry, and I was the composer on the game.
Good for you.
So what you're looking at today is a remake of a mod. Dear Esther started off in 2007 as a Half-Life 2 mod.
As a Half-Life 2 mod.
That did really, really well in the modding community, which was fantastic, and as a result of that attracted the attention of Rob, who worked as the primary developer on a Source remake of the game that was released in 2012. And this year is another remake where it's been updated for a cross-platform release, and we wanted to add in this developer's commentary just to give you a bit more of an insight into some of the ideas behind the game as it came together.
Okay. It drowns me if I walk too far out. It drowns me as I walk too far out. So, that's crazy that this was started as a Half-Life 2 mod. It did not give me a lot of feedback right there. I see all the other little markers on the mountain now. But that's... I laugh because I'm sitting here like replayability is low, but here we are.
So you'll see around you in a lot of the environments, there's a lot of detail ingrained into everything.
Yep.
One of the things that I wanted to do with Dear Esther is bring the visuals up to the same kind of level of detail that Dan and Jess had put into the other areas of the game. So all of the history and the kind of hidden pieces of story that are intertwined with the VOs and the music and stuff, I kind of wanted to bring some of that into the environments. So if you look around you, you'll see that there's a lot of interesting bits and pieces, a piece of paper with someone's name on it, a photograph, an ultrasound, all of these little bits and pieces
I did not
kind
see
of
an
laid in to
ultrasound.
just kind of bring another aspect of the story into the game. And also, they're actually randomized, so every time you play, you'll see something different lying around. And this is just to build on this idea that everybody has a unique experience and a unique interpretation of the story.
Holy cow. That's weird.
Part of the point about the whole game, I think, was this idea that rather than having a linear, straight-through version of the story, that we could have multiple story units for each place you were. And I was really interested in this idea of how you can open up that space that people can interpret. So I loved the idea that you could have two people that had played this game and then would have a conversation about it, and one of them would say, oh, what did you think about when this happened? And the other person would be like, well, that didn't happen for me. I had a completely different event happen or a completely different story happen. And it kind of feels very gamey in that way, that actually one of the things I love about writing for games is that you hand over so much control to the player that it becomes their story, and that's really, really important rather than trying to force them. So using randomised blocks of voiceover in the game and the kind of randomised prop details that Rob was talking about means that it gives it a really different feeling every time you go through. And that's kind of interesting for me, because I like the idea of going, well, not everyone has to have the same experience, and because it's interactive, you have the capacity to have very different experiences occupying the same space. So yeah, but balancing all that then becomes an absolute nightmare.
I think it's nice though, because everybody gets a personal experience. Like, I love
Oh
reading
my
the forums
gosh.
and seeing how people come and they sort of tell their story and what they interpreted of it, and then you see other people discussing what they thought of it. And to me, it's kind of nice because everybody takes something unique away from it.
So like randomized items, randomized voiceovers. So I guess order doesn't matter so much.
When I wrote the music for the mod of Dear Esther, there was absolutely no budget whatsoever for live players, so all the music was sampled. But one of the good things about that is it actually forced me to be quite creative about how I wrote the music. So with my background in sound art, I wanted to use samples in a different way that wasn't just using it to sound like a violin.
I was going to say,
wanted
is this
time
different? This
stretch
is
and
the same.
manipulate samples to make something different and strange and quite unique.
Everything about Esther for me is a dream. The landscape is...
That is wild. And like, if I didn't listen to the commentary on this, like, I wouldn't have given the game another thought. But knowing now that it is randomized, everybody who plays has a different experience, has a different interpretation. I'm not 100% sure what they mean, like different events happen in the game. Like, is it a different, like, are there different paths you can take to get to the same spot? I mean, yes, but you get what I mean. That's sort of interesting. Like, that's something I'd like to sort of look further
not an
into
island, it's the dream of
a
an
little
island.
bit.
The music is like music that you wake up because you've heard in your sleep, but you're not conscious of hearing it. And the language in the story was supposed to be like that as well. It didn't matter the sense it made, it was more about the kind of
Shapes it created,
if that makes sense. So that the words would kind of were like being in water, like listening to something underwater. It'd be this very dreamlike, symbolic, poetic thing, and it always frustrated me in games with game writing. This has really changed quite a lot. There was never any space for poetic.
Oh my god! So
people have asked why the Dear Esther's set on a Hebridean island. What's really interesting about this is it's one of those times when your kind of aspirations as an artist and the practical realities kind of dovetail. We knew that we had to have some way of limiting the player from disappearing off the play space, and when we made the original, it was a mod, and because it was a Half-Life 2 mod, you kind of had Eastern European city, spaceship, or blasted, desolate landscape.
Maybe that's why it had a little bit of an alien vibe to it. Oh my gosh.
Practical constraints.
One of the things you're always trying to do as a composer is create memorable themes. And a slight confession is that probably the most memorable theme, which is Remember in Dear Esther, wasn't actually created for the game. Rob's looking shocked. So it was actually from a piece of choral music that I'd written years before.
I'm dropping it here. That's so weird, y'all. Like, I'm gonna have to do some more research into this game. Now I'm sort of curious, like, what I might be missing and stuff like that here. I might have to rethink my, like, initial reaction to the game a little bit. Like, I want to see, like, how much different other people's experiences in the game might have been versus mine. Because honestly, hearing them say, like, the writing is supposed to be wonky, it's supposed to be jumbled, and not make sense, like, it's definitely a really artsy game. I don't know. I give up, y'all. This is really freaking weird, so I'm gonna have to do some looking into this. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and... You did get me there again, so... So yeah, we're going to end it there tonight, y'all. I'm going to try and catch up on a little sleep so I'm a little bit more awake for tomorrow's games. Yeah, I just choked myself there. So anyways, tomorrow is horror night. We are going to be playing the motel, and then we will be playing rental. Both of them are, I say, semi-short. One of them's 45 minutes, one's 15 minutes. But knowing me, playing horror games, I definitely will be pausing plenty. So, anyways, 007, you have a safe trip once you do take off. So, have fun. Be careful. Anything else, y'all? We'll do Discord night on Thursday night still. So, at 8:30 in the VC. So, come hang out with us. Otherwise, that's it for tonight, y'all. I love you guys. Get some rest, recover from daylight savings, and we'll see y'all tomorrow, guys.